Hello and welcome back to Hülya's Turkish Kitchen. In the kitchen today, I'll be making baked aubergines with meatballs, popularly known as aubergine kebab or patlıcan kebabı. This recipe will provide approximately 46 meatballs and 2 baking trays for up to 12 servings. If you'd like to make less, you can always halve the ingredients or adjust to your needs. Let's get started. You'll need these long thinner aubergines, which are readily available in most shops and work best for this recipe. Trim off the tops and stripe peel each aubergine. Peeling in this way will help the aubergine cook better and results in an attractive contrast when serving. Once peeled, cut into approximately 2 cm pieces along the lengths of each aubergine. Once all the aubergines have been cut, submerge into a bowl of cold water, sprinkling on a tablespoon of salt. Leave to soak for half an hour. Whilst the aubergines are soaking, prepare the rest of the ingredients. To make the meatballs or köftes, finely chop 2 onions. Add the onions to 750 grams of minced beef or lamb can be used. Using your hands, combine the onions with the minced meat. This will begin to flavour the meat straight away. Next, finely chop a bunch of freshly washed parsley. For all of these ingredients, you can either use an electric chopper or food processor or just cut manually. The important thing is to make sure the pieces are cut very finely. Add the parsley to the bowl with the mince and the onions. Next, add the garlic. I've used 2 large cloves, but adjust according to your preference. Add peppers of your choice. I've used 3 chili peppers and a medium-sized capia pepper. Bell peppers can also be used. Again, cut as finely as you can. The red capia provides a delightful color contrast, and I recommend you watch my video on red pepper köfte, which I'll put a link to at the end of this video. Also, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel for weekly recipes. Add 160 grams of breadcrumbs. These can be shop bought or you can make them up at home by using approximately 3 slices of bread. Then add the seasoning. I've used 1 teaspoon of paprika and salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper and cumin. Add 1 egg and start mixing with your hands to thoroughly combine all the ingredients. After a few minutes of mixing, your mixture should look like this. Cover and set aside for 15 minutes. In the meantime, drain off the aubergines if you haven't already done so. After resting the meat mixture for about 15 minutes, start making your köftes. Aim for a thickness of about 1 cm and make them roughly about the same diameter as the aubergines or just a bit less so that you have a somewhat uniform finish. If the mixture sticks to your hands, you can add a drop of olive oil onto your hands to make it easier to work with. As mentioned, this quantity makes approximately 46 köftes or meatballs, which I have spread out over 2 baking trays. Going back to the drained aubergines now, drizzle on some olive oil and with your hands ensure all the aubergines are equally covered in the oil. Sprinkle on a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of mixed herbs and again combine with your hands. Time to start putting this dish together. Using a greased baking tray, start alternating the aubergines and meatballs, lining them in a row. Place them quite tight but still with movement space so that they will cook in between. When starting each new row, start with the other. So if you started the previous row with an aubergine, you would start the next with a meatball. That way they will fit better into the tray. Add 4 sliced green peppers and approximately 15 baby plum tomatoes in between the rows. On to making the sauce now. Add 1 heaped tablespoon of tomato puree to 300 ml of cold water. Add some salt and pepper to your taste and mix. For the second tray, I saved the smaller pieces from the tops and bottoms of the aubergines and will be placing them around the edges of the tray as shown. Place the remaining meatballs in the center, making sure to evenly cover them with the added olive oil in the pan. Equally distribute the sauce between the 2 trays, adding more water if needed. For this tray, I have added 3 chili peppers for an extra kick for my spice lovers. Cover each tray with greaseproof paper and a layer of foil and bake in the oven between 1 hour and 1.5 hours at gas mark 6 or 200 degrees Celsius. After 1 hour of baking, remove the covers. By the way, I forgot to mention I had added some garlic cloves to the tray before baking, but not to worry, you can always add them now. The steam should have begun to cook the meatballs and aubergines by now, and we just need to bake for a further 30 to 60 more minutes, reducing the heat to gas mark 5 or 190 degrees Celsius until completely cooked. After 1 hour of baking with the covers off, my aubergines were cooked through. Remove from the oven and allow to cool for a few minutes before sprinkling on some fresh parsley before serving. Afiyet olsun. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more delicious recipes with a Turkish flavour posted weekly. To watch more of my videos now, click on the links at the end. Thank you for watching, see you next time.